But the other question is, how could this happen? We've been hearing that all along since 24 hours ago. And where was the security presence like the ones that we saw here in D.C. for Black Lives Matter protests, the ones we saw in New York City for Black Lives Matter protests over the summer? Tonight calls for a thorough review and resignations from top police brass. Let's get to News 4's Chris Glorioso with more on that. Chris?
Well, Adam, tonight House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is calling on the Capitol Police Chief to resign over yesterday's security breach. The chief called his officers' response valiant, but he has not said why he didn't prepare for yesterday's riot by summoning the National Guard.
Too little, too late. Non-scalable fences went up around the Capitol Thursday, but on Wednesday, temporary barriers fell like dominoes. Journalist Mark DePaula took this video of outnumbered Capitol police officers appearing to just give up, waving Trump supporters closer to the building.
I can't blame them for abandoning their posts. I mean, I can a little bit because they signed up for this job, but it was like 100 to 1. It was insane odds.
But what are the odds the Capitol Police were really caught off guard? After all, the president himself tweeted to supporters this rally would be wild. Congress now asking why the National Guard wasn't summoned earlier. After all, this summer, the National Guard quashed George Floyd protesters, keeping them far away from the White House so President Trump could do a photo op. By contrast, yesterday, congressional offices were easily ransacked, and the Confederate flag made it in to parade around the Capitol.
These are clear images.
The D.C. Metro Police now publicizing photos of Trump supporters who defiled statues and vandalized the legislature. We asked Brian Higgins, a former Bergen County Public Safety Director, about the ease with which rioters broke in.
Is there any explanation why those protests in the summer had so many more barriers around them and this one seemed to move so freely?
No, it would just be guessing and conjecture at this point. But, you know, perception is reality quite often, right? And to look at how protests were handled from March until now and how this one was handled, there's an obvious disconnect.
A statement from the Capitol Police Chief said many of his officers were out of place yesterday when the insurrectionists broke in because they were dealing with 2 live pipe bombs and another suspicious vehicle on the public streets around the Capitol. Back to you.